All right, movie nerds, welcome back to Movie Nerds. My name is Tom. I am your host tonight. Today we will be doing a spoiler review slash discussion of Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. I think that's the right title. But remember, ye be warned. This will be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, please go and watch the movie, and then watch it in IMAX. Then come back and listen to our discussion, because I have a feeling it's going to be a little different from all three or four of us. Come join us. First of all, just let me put this out there. You probably know that I have my own, my own channel, Talk Story, as well as my other channel, Movie Nerds Alert. Well, just a heads up from those people, for millions and millions of fans that have subscribed to my channel. Please, no longer will I be loading my reviews, discussion, on Talk Story. I will be moving everything, all my content, to Movie Nerds. Now, it used to be Movie Nerds Alert, but I've changed the name to it. It's just going to be Movie Nerds now. And it's just going to be me and a bunch of guests. And mostly it's the guests that that has been on my other channel. I just figure it's just too many channels. I just want to put it into one. Unfortunately, Paul will not be on this channel as much. He has his own channel and he wants to focus on that channel. He does a vlog and he's great. He's a great editor and he does he does most of our editing when it comes to reviews. And so go check him out, his vlog. And but he will come once in a while. He'll come and maybe talk, but it's just going to be me running this channel now, Movie Nerds. And so I hope you guys still stick with us, subscribe, comment, like, and then we'll bring some more content to you. But on to our main topic, Moon Knight. No, we're not talking about Moon Knight. But this is a very disappointing season finale. Doctor Strange. What the hell is the title? Into the Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. He's inside it.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, by the way, my guest is Aubrey and Jaron and Dave. Welcome back, guys. If you haven't met them yet, nerds, this is my usual guest. I've seen this movie twice.
What?
Yes.
Already?
I went and
saw it on 6 hours of your life.
I watched it on Thursday. Funny story, really quick. Our movie started at 3. I thought it was at 4. We got there at 3:51. We missed 51 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, you know what? No, Harkin, guys, I love Harkins. They're the best theater. They knew we missed this showing. They said, hey, why don't you just go to a different one? We'll just refund you. And so they're really good guys. I love that theater. And so we got to see it at 4:00. We didn't sit next to each other. Guys, it is such an anxiety attack. And I have my wife next to me and to turn over to her and said, I told you. I told you.
Oh, that's awesome.
She probably was finally able to enjoy a movie without having to act in here.
Yes. She said exactly the same thing you just said. I was like, babe, I wanted to tell you what's going to happen. And it's like, I know. I'm glad I wasn't sitting next to you.
You'll probably do that more often now.
I was going to say, that's going to change your guys'
by you.
Yeah, it's going to change the way you guys go to movies.
I just can't help it. I like to guess, and half the time I'm pretty accurate and stuff. But anyways, and then I went to see it again last night at 11:15 p.m. after all my kids and my wife went to sleep. I was like, I'm going to go see it in IMAX. Guys, see it in IMAX. It's just 2 times, 3 times, 10 times better. Like it just makes the film so much better, in my opinion. But anyways, let's get to it. We're going to have 3 segments. We're going to talk about the things we like, the things we don't like, and maybe some things that you think could be better, or maybe we can talk about maybe some Easter eggs as well after that. So Aubrey and Jaron, you just got out of the theater fresh.
It's fresh in our mind.
Fresh in your mind. What give me your thoughts, and then tell me what are some things that you like about the movie.
You go.
I always have to go first. Okay. I liked the movie. Like, I mean, it was not what it's weird to say, like, it was what I expected, but it was a lot darker than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting it to be dark, but not the gore dark, which was weird because it was still a PG-13 rating.
I don't know how they got away with that.
I did very much feel like I was watching a little bit of The Boys, on Amazon. Like, and then, but there wasn't blood, so it was okay.
There wasn't much blood.
There wasn't
that much blood, but it was like when that one, I don't know. I'm getting way too into details. But anyways, I really did enjoy it. It was weird. I feel like kind of like, it left me kind of like, where does Doctor Strange go from here? He's got his evil third eye. And then, Charlize Theron's character.
Whoever the
Clea.
heck that was.
Clea. He will be his wife.
Eventually. Yeah.
Eventually.
There you go.
He's Dumamu uncle. Her niece. The first. Oh,
she's the Sorcerer Supreme in the Dark
Doctor
Dimension.
Strange.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I would say I don't know. I would say like I mostly liked it. It was a lot of characters, a lot of information, and not in a bad way, but more in like a, wow, this is a lot type of a way. It was just a lot. That's the best way to say it. What do you got?
What do you got, Jaron?
I mean, I enjoyed it as well.
Before you go forward, I have to know, did you fall asleep?
He did not.
Not in the theater.
You know why? Because you paid for it.
I paid for it. I'm not gonna fall asleep. And it was like 4:00 in the afternoon. No, I agree. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I guess comparing it to the last Marvel movie I watched, which was Spider-Man, Spider-Man was way better in my opinion. Okay. But it's kind of a totally different movie. Anyways, but there was a lot of information, a lot of cool characters came into play, and they were there, and then they were not.
No.
They were gone in 10 minutes.
They serve a purpose. That's all that matters.
Yeah, they served a purpose, and yeah. Anyways, but I kind of liked the dark part of it. I like blood and gore and all that kind of stuff. But to see that in a Marvel, the way that happened, I was like, yeah, it kind of changed it a little bit more. Okay. And it probably appealed to a bit more mature audience, but maybe if you took your kid there, they'd kind of go, oh
yeah. If you didn't do any research and you took your kid there,
yeah, that
was a lot.
When I was in my second screening, I had a family walked out with kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they were just tired if it was
11:30. It was too much for them, I think. What's going on?
Yeah. But all in all, it was a pretty good movie. I'd have to watch it again, because there's always things you miss.
Oh, I do think that they didn't do well. No, I'll go into like that and stuff later.
Yeah, we'll go into the things that you didn't think.
Dave's turn.
Okay, Dave, what you think? What you think of the movie, and what were some things that you liked about the movie?
So this isn't Sam Raimi's first Marvel directing movie, right? It is the first in the MCU, but it's first. not. So he directed the 3 Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, right? Yeah. And so I kind of expected more of that, not like Ash versus Evil Dead.
But it has that element.
But it does, yes. Element. Yeah. So I didn't go into it thinking that it was going to be like dark, gory Sam Raimi. So I was surprised by that. And I was just saying, like, my wife and I were sitting next to each other. We're like, we're not letting our kids watch this for a while. So it was used appropriately in the context. So like the gore, the violence, it was in the context. It was used appropriately.
That was the
oh my gosh.
It was
So
like it was
just a hammer.
I was actually kind of surprised to see that character. But like
I was too.
Inhumans was suggested watch on Disney Plus, and I was wondering why. Now I know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. Yeah, they brought in a lot of cool characters. Did some fan service with some fan casting.
I can't believe he showed up.
That was awesome.
90%. I told you he would be in
it. Overall, I liked it. Yeah, definitely wouldn't let my kids watch it.
Yeah.
Not the ages they are now.
Okay.
But it was entertaining, and I kind of feel the same way. Like, where's Doctor Strange go from here? How does he fit into the MCU or MCMU? I guess is what they're going to call it. They should call it.
I'll tell you, we'll talk about more, but when I talk this movie, okay, I'll go into that when we go to the things that aren't good, because I feel like it wasn't even a Doctor Strange movie. This should have been titled Scarlet Witch, the Multiverse of, it should have been her movie, guys. When I first saw this movie, I liked it. I walked out of the theater. I even asked my wife. She was like, I don't know what to think of it. She said, she was like, I'm not sure if I like it or not. I gotta let it marinate. And I was like, and I get it. After watching it the second time, I love this movie. And I love it. It's because, for one, understanding that it's so different than the other Marvel movie. And when we all talk about like, oh man, the movie is just paint by numbers. They're gonna do this, this, and this, and this, and we know what's gonna happen. Well, this is different. Like, it's completely Sam Raimi put in Sam Raimi's movie. You can tell his, the camera view, the way. There was one scene where you see you with Scarlet Witch, and then Wong just pan into the shot. That's Sam Raimi from Spider-Man 2. It's like, and the horror aspect of it, like that one
jump
scene,
scares,
the jump scare, the one scene when Wanda,
she freaking jumped so hard when that monster came out.
When that monster comes through the lights the flame. I was not expecting it.
Yeah, she
jumped so hard. I was really embarrassed. I had to laugh at myself.
The one that creeped me out the most is when Wanda was trapped. Yeah.
Out of the reflection.
Yeah. When Wanda came through that gong, I was like, what the freak, dude? This is like, different.
It's like The Grudge.
It was The Grudge demonic possession.
Oh yeah, it was so creepy.
So I love the movie. I might be the only one out of like all and the people in my inner circle that have seen this that love it. I think that the character works. People are gonna say, oh, the cameo sucked, but the cameo was there to prove how powerful Wanda Scarlet Witch was. That's the only reason they were there. Besides the fact that they will later come into the MCU, because that's Earth 838, I think.
Yep.
There's still those people in Earth 616. So they're not dead yet, technically, in our world. So we're gonna get to see them. But I know this isn't gonna happen, but I really hope Elizabeth Olsen gets nominated for supporting actress, because I think she was the MVP of this movie. I love her character.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I feel like when it comes to the movies, you have to look for the core, like the dramatic relationship in the story, or the emotional what's driven these characters emotionally, and how we as a character, or how we as an audience can relate to that person. I think Wanda is the driving force of this movie. Her emotion for her kid, or her kids, are what's make this movie going. Like it drives every scene to where we want to go with. Even with Doctor Strange and American Chavez, we know they're running from Wanda because she's so gung-ho and tunnel vision to want to get her kids.
And that's kind of magnified. And they use the Darkhold as kind of like a magnifier for those emotions. Yeah. And to drive her more to like the monstrous evil.
because I think we can all relate to her. I mean, we can all relate to Doctor Strange, who like never got the girl. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if everybody can relate to that. Maybe Jaren can.
If that's your like biggest character arc, though, it's kind of more.
Yeah.
Like,
and so
when you never got the girl, like
yeah,
I don't know.
But I love the closure at the end with him and her. I actually had little tears in my eye because I felt so bad for Doctor Strange. Yeah, for Doctor Strange that he wants it so bad, but he just can't do it. This movie is about sacrifice and basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Like obsession with what you want. Like there's two different things. How far are you willing to go to get what you want? And Wanda is willing to sacrifice herself to become Scarlet Witch to basically, I will kill anyone to get to my kids. Well, Doctor Strange sacrificed,
including herself in the other universe.
Herself, yeah, and Doctor Strange himself, that he can't have that normal life, and it comes with the broken watch. And at the end, he realizes it, and then he fixed it up, and he realized, this is who I am. I love this movie. I thought it was well done by Sam Raimi. Wanda MVP, man. I told you how powerful, and it shows you when she killed. Let's go to the things we don't like. Brutal. There's some brutal, and I want to talk about. Let me start by things I don't like first. First of all, I don't like the fact that when he got to the 838, whatever 858 Earth, he goes and he's meet with the Illuminati, and they say you are the. And then, Reed Richard says you're the biggest threat to the multiverse, and I'm like, wait a minute, if these guys are Illuminati and they've been researching the multiverse for the longest time, because Christine in that or in that universe says she's ahead of that research and she knows almost everything about the multiverse. You really think he's the biggest threat? And then you have Wanda come in and wreck shop, and they still think that? Like, that makes no sense for me. Like, for me, and then I hate it when Captain Marvel. See, I don't care who plays Captain Marvel. I just hate Captain Marvel, the character. It's stupid. We can handle you, little witch. Yeah. Where you at now, Captain Marvel? I just can't stand that character. Arrogant, man. It's like, we can handle you, little witch. I'm so glad that when Wanda got there, I am so happy that she killed off every single one of them, just to show you how powerful she is. I love it, and that's one thing I didn't like. I had issue with American Chavez. I think she's a good character, but she was misused in this movie. She wasn't like she's more of a plot function. If you know what I'm
MacGuffin.
Yeah, she's just there. Like, she doesn't involve the story, and she just takes Steven to where he's supposed to. Her character doesn't change if you think about it.
She's just a teleporter. That's all she is.
And all she does is her power. She just like, I hate to say it, just like Captain Marvel. The only thing that changed is her power.
I had the same thoughts. The exact same thoughts.
And that's sad, because I like her character. I think her character is awesome. And I like the the relationship between her and Strange. I thought that was kind of like a brother and sister type of thing, or I don't know how you frame it, because she's only 16 in this. Yeah. And so I don't know, but I think her character was just kind of like there to like, here you go. Okay, now go with her, and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever.
They needed something that Wanda was trying to get.
Yeah.
They needed something for Wanda.
And as much as I think Wanda's MVP, I think she was misrepresented in the movie. But with her saying, you broke the rule and you became a hero, and I do it and I'm the villain. Doctor Strange is a hypocrite, guys. She's right. That's one thing that I don't like. They try to make it seem like it's okay for him to do it, but for her, no, it's baddie. But like I said from the beginning, she's the big baddie. They're gonna make her into that, and it seems like she's gonna keep being that, because she's not dead, by the way. If you think she's dead, she's not dead.
And on top of that, even if that Wanda is dead.
There's other
multiverse Wandas.
Well, I have a feeling that the Wanda that she possessed will come in as the Wanda because she has experience and understand what's going on. I don't know if we'll see Scarlet Witch again soon. I hope so. Anything else? Anything else I don't like about this movie? I think there's certain like the first act was great. The third act was great. The middle part was a little slow for me and kind of like you said, Aubrey, there was a lot of exposition going on with certain things like, oh, what about Christine? Oh, you didn't get with Christine. How many times are they going to talk about that Doctor Strange didn't get with Christine? Like, we get it. One more thing. The dialogue. Sam Raimi is not good with dialogue. You go back and watch any of his movies. Even some of his scenes are cheesy. And so I think
I can do this all day.
That was terrible.
When she said that, I was like, "Oh gosh, give her her own saying, not give her
that saying a break."
Thank you.
Done with that. Like, it was cool in the first one, but like,
I agree.
It's just been con.
I could do this all day.
I could do this. Do this all day.
I think okay. My wife would disagree with me, but I think one of the dialogue that I think was the weakest. Well, two of them is when Christine was holding that thing, so like, go back to hell. I'm like, oh yeah, gosh, really? Yeah. And then the other one is when they face Wanda and Red Richard comes out. He can kill you with his voice.
And so then she shuts his mouth. The guy should have said that.
The funny thing was, I'm like, we know. The audience know. We know.
Yeah, they already showed that once before in the movie.
They did show it, so that's like, I guess that was enough character development. But if you don't know anything about that character, like, you literally did just see like he's a 2-fork prong guy.
He's got a fork on his head.
No idea.
He's got a fork on his head.
We did see that, like, he spoke and killed the other Doctor Strange, but then the next scene, that's when Reed Richards said he can kill you. But as the audience, we already know. You don't need to say it. I know he's gonna say, well, Wanda doesn't know. Wanda didn't even give a crap. She said, what mouth? Boom. Yeah. Anyways, more like a dent.
Yeah, it was like a dent.
It's like a dent. That's some of the gripe I have. There's a little more, but I'm just gonna stop there because I love this movie, guys. Aubrey and Jared, what are something that didn't work for you in this movie?
Sure. I mean, we already talked about it, just some of the cheesy lines. I swear, in every movie, well, not every movie, but in almost all the Marvel, in any comic, there's going to be some cheesy lines that you're like, why did they say that? But anyway, so that's one of mine. Another one is it doesn't really, I mean, it pertains to this movie, but if you think about it, think about the first time they introduced Scarlet Witch, Wanda, whatever, way back in, when was that? Like Iron Man 3?
Oh, Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron is when we first met her.
So she, in that one, like, wasn't even a, big a character at all. And now we've built her up. I mean, in the comics, if you read comics and all that, I'm sure she's always been huge. Scarlet Witch.
The Avenger Disassemble, dude, she wrecked everybody.
Yeah. But it's just crazy that it's built, we've taken this long to like build her up when really she could have destroyed everyone, really, from the sound.
But she didn't know she was Scarlet Witch until the show.
I was gonna say, I think that dark,
that dark hole,
book,
book made her even more powerful.
Definitely, like, opened up her, like, and also like what she was willing to try.
Yeah. Sure.
Because when she's Wanda, she's not willing to try to explode someone's brain.
Yeah.
That's not who she is. But obviously, the Scarlet Witch is very open to all forms of abuse.
Everything. Yeah.
Now I came out of this movie and the title is Madness. I didn't see a lot of madness in here. Like
that's some mental crazy madness.
Oh, that's what I was gonna. So when I watched a couple of the trailers, I didn't watch all of the trailers, but I watched some of them, and so I didn't really know exactly what was going to happen in this movie. I knew it was going to be crazy, and just in the trailers, you see them, fighting in the different worlds and blah blah blah. But I really, for me, the trailers seemed really misleading to me. I didn't know. I mean, right off the bat, oh, Scarlet Witch is the bad guy.
Yeah, I thought for sure it would take them longer to get into that.
But I mean, I think I was just expecting. I don't know what I was expecting in this movie, to be honest. But
it's funny. Right when she said America's name, I was like jumped up. I was looking for my wife. I was like,
I did the same thing. I was like, he didn't say her name.
Yeah.
She said the demon. She said the demon. I wanted to tell her, I was like, but I couldn't. She was loving sitting by herself and not having me turn to her and talk.
You guys are never gonna sit together again.
No, she'll probably never wonder that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
I'm done.
Aubrey,
Dave can go on or speak. I guess. We already said your bit.
No, I didn't. I didn't say what I didn't.
Oh, okay, your turn.
Offensive. Anyways, being the only gal here.
That's true.
No,
Happy Mother's Day, by the way, Aubrey.
Thanks for my mom. No, I'm kind of with him, but I wasn't mad that the trailer was kind of misleading, at least especially the very first one, because it's a teaser and they usually are. But I don't like watching movies where I have an idea of what's going to happen, because then I'm just not entertained. I don't know. I want to be completely surprised by things. And so I stopped after the second trailer. I stopped watching the trailers. I didn't want to know more. I didn't want to know anything else. So, but I did really like it. I think some of the things I didn't like was this is going to sound weird, but we just watched WandaVision, and it was probably the best series in my opinion that
it is.
Disney Plus has come out with in the MCU. Loki being a close second.
I think Moon Knight might be my second.
No, Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Loki's up there for me.
Yeah, but we see there's Vision. She's created Vision. These two kids in her mind are her and Vision's kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then
where's Vision?
Then there's White Vision, and we know he's somewhere, and he has original Vision's memories and all that stuff. So we know that he has all those things. But she wasn't going through the multiverse looking for Vision. You know what I mean? There was such little, almost zero to none talk about him. There was that one line in the very beginning, and that's it. And it's and then they're showing all these multiverses where it's just her and the kids. And so I'm just very where was Vision? And I didn't expect him to show up. I just expected maybe a little bit more
where's the father
I guess,
figure?
Yeah. I mean,
wait,
but I loved the motherliness.
She don't need no man.
I know.
Wait. But she does. But you're missing a key point is she doesn't know that White Vision have Vision memory.
No,
she
I know.
Oh yeah, she didn't witness that.
So she didn't witness. She doesn't. So I don't think she would want it
out there. And you would think that he would be trying to find her too if he has all of the previous Vision's memories. To be fair, obviously he also still knew that she did that horrible stuff to Westview.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was one thing where I was I just expected a little bit more mention.
It's kind of true to the source material though. Yeah. In the comics, she is very, very attached to her children.
Yeah. Nothing to Vision at all.
Yeah.
At that point in her stage of her life. But you get that though in WandaVision in at the end of the post-credits when you see her in with the Darkhold doing at that point, at least Disney and Marvel wants us to accept the fact she's gone. Wanda is secondary,
Wanda.
and Scarlet Witch is the first person in that relationship. So at that point, she's already had her mindset. Scarlet Witch doesn't care about Vision. She just cares about her kids. And by showing the fact that she can hear him in the multiverse, just sets it to us as an audience, say, don't worry about Vision.
I thought Professor X was going to pull her out, man. I thought she was going to get Wanda back and then
snapped his neck in a creepy ass demonic way.
Yeah. Anyway, Dave. Anything else, Aubrey?
No, I think that's pretty much it. There was things like you said, the middle was kind of slow with like the Christine stuff, and it was just kind of like, I guess it was like Doctor Strange just didn't have as strong of a struggle as Wanda did, and therefore we just didn't really care very. Like that.
He was very disjoint in this movie.
Yeah, like that.
Does that make sense? Like the other ones, we're with him. We understand his pain. We understand his trying to redemption story coming back. But this one, he's just felt very disjointed and like all over the place to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, like after all the Avengers stuff and the Thanos stuff, like you maybe would feel very disconnected. So maybe it played good with the movie. But like, I don't know.
They kind of hinted at that in Spider-Man No Way Home, though, like how kind of disconnected he was to. Yeah. He's like, just ignore Wong. Like, I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and I guess I did like at the end of this that he finally showed respect to Wong as the supreme sorcerer, or whatever he is.
So
finally, because he just didn't. He didn't care about that.
I can't remember. How did he lose his supreme?
He was gone.
He was gone for 5 years.
Technicality.
How long was it?
So can he never get that back until Wong dies?
Not until Wong dies.
Or Wong stepped down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I really liked it. It was so different from what you were expecting, but not necessarily in a bad way. Just more in like I need to let it, like, as I said, it's still fresh.
Fresh for you. Dave, what are something you did not like about this movie?
So I'm just gonna echo your thoughts on America Chavez. I feel like she could have been utilized a little bit differently or better, or give her more of an arc to find her control of her powers, rather than just Mary Sue in it.
Good point.
So that was one thing that didn't really work for me. And then there's one scene that was pretty cheesy to me. Visually it was cool, but the concept of it just didn't land for me. And it was the fight with the music notes between the two strangers. I didn't like that. I
love that.
Visually and audio, like the visual and audio, like the music was cool, but it just didn't. The whole concept of it was not. It was just not there for me.
Okay, I disagree.
If you guys liked it, that's fine. If you thought it was great,
I thought it drug on. Like I thought it was like, oh, he's gonna use music notes, and then they're gonna move on to something else, and then it was
much.
Like, music notes.
I thought if it had started with the music notes and then moved on to something else, or they were using something else, but like that was the whole thing. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Saying if that works for you, it works for you. It doesn't work for you. And then what else? I can't.
How about let me tell you one more thing that I thought was I think to me was probably a travesty, but the entire movie they're talking about Scarlet Witch and the book. What's it called? The
Darkhold.
The Darkhold. What's the other book called?
The Book of Ashanti.
Ashanti. Serve no purpose.
There was
the entire film.
The whole plan
was to get this stupid book, and then it burned.
And he dropped it, and it was gone.
What?
Clumsy Doctor Strange.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But you built up this entire film to get this book so that he can fight Scarlet Witch, and then you just takes it away like, well, what?
Figuring out how to open the door with the wand, the whole thing, and then nothing.
All that means nothing. It means nothing.
You're right.
because
I kind of liked it though, right? He kept it as an underdog story.
Dave.
Because if he had got that would have been it. Over. Done.
It didn't matter. This is Indiana Jones all over. Whether Indiana Jones gets to the Holy Grail or not, the Germans gets there no matter what. No matter what Indian does, they get to that freaking scene.
But you don't like it?
This is the same thing with this. No matter what happens, Wanda was going to get American Chavez, period.
I thought it was fine.
It didn't matter if she got the book or not. Like they were the whole entire thing was to protect her. But you build up this whole thing about this book, and all of a sudden you burn it down. You're like, what's the point?
Well, the point was so that zombie Doctor Strange could come.
They had to get zombie Strange.
Who said it has to be living?
You know,
zombie
when you say it out loud, like the zombie Doctor Strange having demonic wings to fly him, it's kind of bizarre, right?
It is bizarre. The whole thing was bizarre.
Yeah.
The only thing, and we talked about the title, right? You guys said there's not much madness. I say there's not much multiverse.
No.
There were 3 universes that they traveled to: 838, 616, and then the one where they had the music battle.
But unless they went counting when they went through like Jillian.
There were little blips. It was just a preview, right? Like, multiverse. Okay, more than one, fine, but like I wanted to see an animated Doctor Strange.
Well,
like maybe in Spider-Man or this one, wasn't Tom Cruise supposed to be like a
Iron Man?
It's supposed to
casting,
be,
I think.
Yeah, just fan cast. But
that's a fan cast.
Iron Man's supposed to be an Illuminati, and he wasn't there. There was one
who created Ultron. That was
there was one seat that was empty.
Yeah, who was missing?
Kane the Conqueror.
I thought it was weird. I mean, I guess it's probably in the comic book. Is it in the comic books that it's the Illuminati?
Yeah, that's the original. Yeah, but I think Kane is the one that might be one of the variant that was there and got kicked out. I don't know, but I could be wrong. But what was that? What else did I say? I missed. I was gonna say something.
That's all I can think of that I didn't really like.
I think there's 2 things now that will go forward from now on in the MCU. The word is dream walking. That's something that will happen now. Now that we know that when you dream, there's a multiverse, guys. There's another bus somewhere.
I turned to my wife and my wife and I just talked about one of my dreams the night before, and I turned to her. I was like, "Hey, I have a pet wolf now." In some universe, I have a pet wolf.
What were you gonna say, Sharon?
Yeah, there's that. Well, one thing that I read that they've kind of now maybe put themselves in a corner with MCU and that is now that we've introduced the multiverse, not in this one, but in the couple movies ago and that with Loki and all that. Now it's kind of like every movie you're expecting some type of cameo, from a multiverse, like because the DC is going to have to start doing it now because they copy what Marvel does. You know what I mean? So, but Marvel now in every movie we're getting all these.
Tom very strongly disagrees with you right now.
I know.
I mean, look at the Batman movie.
I know. But okay, not DC, but now you're expecting some really cool cameo. Every time.
I get it. I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, did people cheer when John Krasinski can't show up? Everybody cheer, right?
They kind of would.
Luckily, nobody cheered.
Yeah, no one cheered.
There was cheering and clapping in the theater that I was in.
There was whispering, loud whispering.
No, they started to whisper when Professor X came rolling in.
But we knew that.
That was
too,
in the trailers.
Yeah, it's in the trailers.
I didn't know that.
Can I talk about the ending really quick? To find that Dave trashed that music fighting scene. How dare you?
I was so bored with that. I got bored.
Do you not know the music that was in the history of those notes? Come on, man. Anyways, I love the ending of this. By the way, this movie is pretty predictable, because when he talks about when Doctor Strange asked Wanda, "What about their mothers?" and that I knew was like, okay, they're gonna end it with her facing those kids, and they're gonna think of her as a monster. Anyway, but I love Elizabeth Olsen acting in this movie, and I feel her pain in that last scene, man. Like
beautiful.
I just want to cry with her. I was just like, gosh, give her their kids back.
Come on, Tom, pull it together.
He's getting weepy on us.
I just can't help it, man. Like ever since I had kids, I'm just so more emotional. I don't know why, man. Anyways,
that scene, I was like, okay, I thought that she was just too far gone, but that scene where she came to that realization, I was like, okay, maybe she's not too far gone. Maybe there's hope.
That's the only thing that American Chavez did that furthered the story, was let's take her there. That's the only thing. The entire movie, that was one job that she had, and that was it. And what a beautiful scene. She goes and they're afraid of her. And I love the Wanda, the mom, that's like, it's okay. And she says that beautiful line, know that they'll be loved. I was like, oh, beautiful line. I love that scene. And then you get hit with, the Doctor Strange and Christine scene. And I feel like if people don't like that movie, they can at least appreciate those two scenes, because those were some great emotional acting from great actors and great actresses. And I think that's what this movie, why I love this movie so much, is because the characters that were followed throughout the entire movie and the acting that goes with it. I can't see anybody else playing Doctor Strange. I couldn't believe that Joaquin Phoenix was going to be cast as Doctor Strange before Benedict Cumberbatch. That'd have been a completely
a very different Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Go ahead, Aubrey. You have something else to say.
Something that popped into my head about like one of the things I didn't like that wasn't addressed when Wong sees this demonic zombie Doctor Strange with the demons, and he's like, I don't even want to know. And I'm like, you should want to know, because he's using the dark hold. Like, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And but for him to be just,
that's him. That's Strange. Yeah. He gets a pass.
That's why Wanda is right. Strange is a hypocrite. Hey, when he showed up as a demon, he goes, "You hypocrite." She's correct. He is. And I don't like that scene either, but they put that was a
callback to the first Doctor Strange too.
Can I get one more shout out to Professor X? The line that he says, a beautiful line. Sometimes, I don't know the exact quote, but he said sometimes people fall, so that line,
they lose their way.
He said the same thing to himself in the Future Day Past, with the movie X-Men.
And then he quoted, "I'm a child of God. Lead me, guide me."
Oh, lead me, guide me.
Well, here's a question on that though.
Yeah.
Where does that time frame with Professor X right then go along with Logan?
It doesn't.
I think it's irrelevant.
It's
irrelevant.
Because
Logan is not canon, right?
Yeah, no, that's a different universe. That's what they're going to say.
I'm just curious, because I know they haven't crossed over. Well, kind of. But
here's the thing, though. I'm just any of our prediction when it comes to the X-Men or the mutants are out the window. I think we all got wrong on that one, because we all thought that she was going to say, let there be mutants so that her kids can come back, or somehow, get them out of a certain dimension or certain universe that they trapped them in and so. But none of that happened.
Can you repeat that one more time? Did you say you were wrong?
Yeah, 10%. I'd give 10%.
Oh,
I'm still, guys. Wanda, big bad, check. John Krasinski, Reed Richards, check. Come on, give me a break.
There was two main things that I remembered you had said, and I looked at Jared and I said, "Ugh, he's too right now."
I mean, they were pretty easy.
Were they? Now, I do hope that going forward somehow that I don't want one thing about the MCU, and this is the problem that Jared was talking about, and I agree with Jared. They have this issue now. It's like no death is going to be worth anything.
Yeah.
Wanda can die. It's okay. We'll pluck her out of 636.
Yeah.
Put it in
I feel like the Illuminati was a big flex by Disney. Like, look at all these properties that we own now.
It is
Fantastic Four,
it is.
X-Men, Inhumans.
But only that is, I think that entire scene is just to prove how powerful Wanda is. I don't see anything but that reason why they brought that in, because Strange doesn't have to go to Illuminati to understand what's going on. Does he really need to know about the other Strange that using the Darkhold? He's a sorcerer supreme to a certain extent. He knows that if you use the Darkhold, that you will be succumb to his power. Like, he sees it with Wanda. Why does he need explaining if he himself can be it? Anybody can be. He knows that. So the only reason it was there is just to show you how powerful Wanda is. So anyways, anything else?
Secrets don't make friends.
No, it has nothing to do with this. I just read Tom's shirt and I was to Jared.
Church ball.
Yeah, it was making me laugh.
Guys,
that's literally it.
just for the
Is
audience,
an Angel Moroni on there.
Yeah, the logo is what made me laugh.
For those on podcast, this shirt, I've had this shirt since 2003.
Awesome.
I got this shirt in the MTC, guys. So it's been with me. I'm not leaving it. I have holes everywhere. I'm not leaving it. So, anyways,
sentimental.
Is there any last word about this, you guys? It seems like you guys like the movie. It seems like you think the movie is okay. I think the movie is great. I love this movie because it's so different. I don't know where I would put this in the best movie, MCU movie, because there's 28 movies.
That's a lot.
That's
How about movies of the year? Movies of 2022. Where are you throwing this one in?
Oh, way above Dune.
Yeah.
That was 2021. That wasn't even this year.
That's the last movie we saw.
Was it Spider-Man No Way
What's
Home?
a better multiverse movie? This one or
like,
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Have you guys seen that, Aubrey and Jared?
Yeah, no, we really want to. The multiverse one.
Everything and Everywhere All at Once.
No.
Dude, I think that one was a better multiverse.
Is that a better multiverse movie?
Yes, it is.
All right. Okay.
Because
all right. Throw a third one in there. And where do you rank Doctor Strange? Jet Li's the one.
Jet Li's the one. I'll do Doctor Strange. Yeah. I can't stand Jet Li sometimes. It's annoying. But the one is a good movie. I think this is better. But Everything and Everywhere All at Once is a great movie. Great movie. And the way they explain the multiverse in that, and they actually go into it, and it literally is a madness in this movie. And it's more madness than Doctor Strange, in my opinion. But I just loved. I think if I have to pick between those, which is more rewatchable, I think Doctor Strange for me, just because Scarlet Witch, I love her character, and I think she's what makes the movie for me. And so I really hope she gets nominated, just like Oscar Isaac, who we'll be talking about in a minute. Anyways, folks, leave us your thoughts. Let us know what your thoughts are on Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What are some things you didn't work for you? What's something that did work for you? Let us know what you think. Please subscribe to Movie Nerdzz. That's our new banter, new hub, as I like to call it, where all my content will be there. And so you'll see Aubrey and Jared and Dave back as our regular guests. Paul might stop by. You never know. Until next time, be kind.